Subscribe to my mommy's channel. Like, comment, and share.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Where is the Manual? It's your girl Kiki. Today's episode is about raising a child who experiences the world differently than you do, and how motherhood sometimes asks you to grow into places that you never planned to go. With the holidays happening, everything feels louder. The music, the decorations, the expectations. Everywhere you turn, there's this pressure to feel joyful, grateful, festive. And if I'm being honest, I've never really been that person. My daughter loves the holidays, and I never really did. That feels strange to say, and I'm sure some of you think it's strange to hear, especially out loud, right? Especially as a mom, because holidays are supposed to be magical, right? They're supposed to be joyful, warm, full of memories and excitement. But if I'm being honest, I've always felt a little like the Grinch growing up. Not necessarily angry or bitter, just disconnected. And for most of my life, I didn't even realize that that was something I needed to examine. I thought that was just who I was. But then I became a mom to a little girl who absolutely loves the holidays, and that changes everything. Growing up, holidays weren't traumatic for me. Our house was clean, actually spotless. We had lots of food. My mom loves cooking. There was a Christmas tree, decorations were up. I mean, growing up in Guyana, Christmas cleaning and decorating was a thing, right? Like that was like our big thing that had to be done. But emotionally, it just didn't land for me. I wasn't a kid who believed in Santa Claus. I don't remember waiting up late, listening for reindeers or leaving out cookies. Elf on a Shelf wasn't a thing then. But even if it had been, I don't think it would have mattered to me. I also don't remember getting a lot of gifts, if any at all. And here's the thing though, I don't even remember feeling like I was missing anything either, like at that time. I didn't grow up sad necessarily about the holidays. I just grew up neutral about them. They didn't feel special. They didn't feel exciting. They just happened. And when something doesn't feel magical to you as a child, you just don't grow up into an adult who suddenly finds magic in it all. As a young adult in this country, Thanksgiving and Christmas became these big, loud, emotional events for me. Family gatherings, traditions, expectations. And most of the time, I felt like I was forcing myself to participate, forcing smiles, forcing excitement, forcing gratitude in a way that just wasn't natural at that time. I just didn't really want to be there. And if I could have stayed in my room or my house, I would have. And honestly, I probably did physically sometimes, but emotionally most of the times. I don't even know if anyone ever noticed. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, maybe they just checked it off for killer being moody. But inside, I felt like I was pretending to enjoy something everyone else seemed to genuinely love. It wasn't sadness. It was just distance. And that distance became a habit. Then I had my daughter, and she is nothing like me when it comes to holidays. She loves celebrating. She loves being around family. She loves the excitement, the noise, the chaos, the togetherness. And suddenly, holidays weren't about how I felt anymore. They were about how she felt. That made a huge shift in me. I didn't wake up one day and magically love the holidays. What happened instead was I started to pay attention to the sentiment behind them, the gratitude, family, connection. I realized that holidays weren't meant to be about perfection or performance. They were about being present. And my daughter wanted that presence, not perfection. So I started to do things differently on purpose. We do matching pajamas. We open presents together. She may go to her dad's house to open gifts while I'm cooking at mine, then comes back to have dinner with my family. And that just works for our family dynamics. And as she's getting older, decorating the Christmas tree has become a big deal for her. Making cookies is exciting. Hosting at my house is something I never imagined myself doing. And it's something now I push and love to do. Not because it's easy, not because it's natural, but because it matters to her. And I had to come to terms with that and that truth. I'm not recreating my childhood. I'm creating hers. And who doesn't want to make sure that their child have a memorable childhood? This episode isn't just about holidays. It's about something deeper. It's about raising a child who experiences the world differently than you do. My daughter is expressive in ways that I'm reserved. She finds joy where I once felt neutral. She leans into connection where I learned to pull away. And parenting her has forced me to confront something my coping mechanisms can't be her reality. Raising her means unlearning some of the habits I formed to protect myself. It means stretching past what feels comfortable. It means showing up when my instinct is to retreat. And that's not easy to do. But parenting isn't about cloning yourself. It's about nurturing who they are, even when it challenges who you've been. I've spent a lot of my life isolating when things felt overwhelming, pulling inward, staying quiet, staying small. Motherhood has forced me to reckon with that because my daughter doesn't want isolation. She wants presence. She wants laughter. She wants shared experiences. So I show up. I host. I stay, even when it feels awkward, even when it feels like growth is uncomfortable, because it is. Breaking cycles doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it just looks like staying in a room when you'd rather disappear. My daughter is teaching me something I didn't expect, that sometimes our children lead us into healing. I don't have to love everything she loves. I don't have to become a completely different person, but I do choose to grow. Raising a kid different from you doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it means you're doing something right. It means you're breaking habits. It means you're expanding. It means you're staying. I'm Kiki. Thank you for listening to Where's the Manual? Until next time, remember, none of us got the manual, but sometimes our kids show us the way.
Subscribe to my mommy's channel. Like, comment, and share. See you all next time.